fashion lovers. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be walking you through how to make this pretty eton colored dress I found on the internet. It's because I really love the dress, and when I saw it, I could not just take my eyes away from it. I knew that okay, I needed to make a tutorial on it. So yeah, today I'm going to be showing you how to make this pretty dress, because I feel like it's a dress you can wear casually to just about anywhere, and as you can see, it's really pretty, isn't it? So yeah, although I'm going to be switching things up around a little bit, so instead of the straight padded sleeve we have on the dress, I'm going to be switching it up to a cap sleeve. So I'm going to be putting a cap sleeve on my own dress because I'm a little bit under the weather, guys. I took my COVID vaccine, the second dose. I took it just yesterday, and honestly I'm still feeling a little bit of my body temperature is quite high, and I feel like I'm coming down with a fever. So I'm trying to save my energy and cut the time of my video for today, because I still need that bed rest, guys, and also because my channel is a big commitment to me, and then I've decided to not miss this week's video. So that's what I'm trying to do a little bit today, just so that I don't break off my perfect streak. So yeah, that is basically it. Although I'm going to be cutting a bit of the sewing face of this dress, although I'm going to be explaining fully the details of the sewing processes of how to make the dress, but the actual life me sewing the dress is probably not going to be there today. Sorry, guys. So the main goal of today's tutorial is to really show you how to draft the eton collar on the neckline of the dress, and also how you can achieve the cuts around the bust of the dress. And you know that to achieve that fraying effect at the dress, just look at the picture, you see one part fraying at the top. If you want to achieve that, you know that you would have to use like a woolly fabric for that, right? Because I don't think if you use a normal fabric, cotton, Ankara, I don't know, you'll probably not be able to stop the fraying. If you decide to fray the edge of your Ankara, you might probably not be able to stop it from fraying. Or you could, if you really want that fraying effect, all you have to do is to maybe you'd iron on interfacing. Once you've already frayed that edge, you iron on interfacing to the rest of the fabric. So that is just going to keep the thread from continuing to pull out. And yeah, anyways, guys, next week I would like to do a tutorial on a style suggested by you guys. Yes, so you can start sending in whatever styles you want me to do a tutorial on. You can type it in the comment section down below, or send it if you have like a picture representation of what you want me to do a tutorial on. You can send it to my Instagram on @mayowaoye. The link that will take you straight to my Instagram account is right in the description box, or you can also search for me at mayowa_oye. So you can send me a DM on whatever style you want me to do a tutorial on next week. So I'll pick randomly. If it's something that I can do a tutorial on, I would pick randomly from whatever you guys send, and then I'll do a tutorial on it next week. So you can start sending in your styles, guys. You can type it in the comment section, or basically go to my Instagram to do that. Now If you have been watching my videos and you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I just want to ask you why. The subscribe button is just down below your screen. Why haven't you tapped it? Is there something I did? Please, can you please tap the subscribe button right now? Yes, like right now. Please. Thank you. You can also like this video if you find it helpful, and then share with your friends who also love fashion like you, and turn on the notifications bell right beside the subscribe button, just so you can be alerted when I post new videos. So guys, this is the pattern I'm going to be using for this is my basic pattern. So what we need to do is to interpret the style, and then we'll be drafting the style on our working pattern. This is my working pattern, so you can see like skid marks, like wheel marks on it. That's because this is the pattern I've always used for all the previous tutorials I've made. So all I do is just clean off whatever it is I've done previously, and then I'll do my new style for today, just so that I don't have to keep repeating patterns. So this saves time. So yeah, we are going to interpret the style. So for the style, if you look at the style, you will see that it has an upper part and a lower part. That is a different lower part, a different colored lower part from the upper part, and it also has an eton collar at the neckline. It has 2 pockets also, and it's got buttons, and that is basically all of it. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be like switching up the sleeve, the straight sleeve. I'll be turning it into a cap sleeve. So yeah, so now all we have to do is to start altering our pattern to fit into the style we are making for today. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is to go in. You determine how long you want your dress to be. So I would advise you make it like a short dress, so it's more cute and really pretty and all. But if you want it long, that depends on you though. So you determine how long you want your dress to be. Once you have that, at the hem you go in by 1.5 inches, like we always do when we want to pencil in the hem of our dress. So you go in by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to do that now, and then you connect back to your hip level here. So now that that's done, you also determine where you want your pocket to be. So I'm going to draw in my pocket pattern also onto my dress. So where do I want my pocket pattern to be? You determine that. So I want the pocket to start from somewhere like a few inches below my hip line, and then like maybe 2 inches away, 2 inches from this line here. So I'll measure that. So this is where I want my pocket to be. So I'll determine how long also I want my pocket to be. Please note that the pocket is a patch pocket, so I'll determine how long I want my pocket to be. So it can be however long you want it to be. So I'm just going to do this, and then the wideness of your pockets, you determine that also. Make sure you do something that is going to like that for your palms to be able to fit into. But if you don't want, if the pocket is just decoration now, it's just for decoration, you don't really have to focus on that. But if you want it to be functional, if you want the pocket to be functional in a way that you can put things into the pocket, you measure it in a way that your palms can fit into it. So for me, I would advise that you use like maybe between I think 5 to 6 inches. So I think 5 to 6 inches would be enough for your palms to fit into. And this is my patch pocket. So I'm going to go down by maybe 1 inch away from here to divide the pocket such in a way that we have in the picture. And this is our pocket. So all you have to do is to place another piece of paper underneath this, then you trace this out. You trace your pocket piece out. So when you trace it out, this upper part here will be cut in a different color from this lower part, and then you join it together and then it forms this whole pocket. I hope you understand what I just explained. So obviously, you know, you have to cut two of these pockets, because you know, one pocket here and then one pocket for the other side. So now that we are done with this, we move on to the next right step. So now the next step is to draft in a button stand. But the thing is that the button stand is not exactly a real shirt button stand. It's just a mock, a faux one, so a fake button stand. So it's not like we are going to increase, like add an extension to the middle of your pattern here to create your button stand. So what we will be doing is to cut another strip of fabric for your button stand. Then we'll be attaching it onto the dress. So please note that this part of the pattern is not needed. It's just a borderline. So I'm just going to fold it in. So, and then I'll draft in my my fake button stand. It's fake because my pattern is still, when I'm cutting my pattern on my fabric, it's still going to be cut on fold, so it's not going to be opened up. I'm not going to be slitting this place open like a shirt. So yeah, you determine how wide you want your button stand to be. So for the dress, I think you should do like between 1 to 1.5 inches. So if if you want the whole width of the button stand to be 1.5 inches, you know that you have to divide that 1.5 inches into 2. Whatever you get, you measure. So you get it. So this part, so by the time you are done drafting your pattern and you cut it on your fabric and you open it up, it's going to be like the full 1.5 inches. So I hope you understand what I just explained. So what I'm going to do is to place another piece of paper underneath this, and then I'll trace this out, this strip. I'll trace it out, and then you place it on a fabric and cut on fold, and that will be your button stand that will be attaching to the dress. So now that that's done, I think the next thing should be to show you how to divide the upper part and the lower part. And then for that, from your armhole level here, you go down by 10 cm. So that's just to locate the under bust of your dress, because you can see that the dress was cut along the lower part of your bust, that is under your bust. So the next thing will be to connect from your armhole here, and then you connect straight to your under bust here. And this is our cut right here. So all you have to do is to place another piece of paper underneath this, and then I'll be tracing this out. So this is what you'll be tracing out. Then you include your darts. So for the upper part, you trace this out, trace the neckline. Then when you get here, you don't follow this line, just go a little bit downwards from here, and then you go straight. There's a reason for that. So you go a little bit downwards and then you go straight. So yeah, this is what you are going to be tracing out from here, 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 up to this place. Then you also need to just trace this part, this your under bust part. You also trace it just to mark it out, and just so that you can know that this is where your under bust is. So but when you are cutting, this is what we'll be cutting out. and that is that for your front piece. Now for the back piece, this is your zip allowance side, and then you cut it also, and then you trace this out, and then for the lower part you trace this out, and then you include your darts into it, and that is all for the neck. So now we're going to move on to drafting eton collar. Now for the eton collar, you pick up your traced out front. This is my front upper piece, and this is my back upper piece. Then you place both together. You join together both at the at the shoulders. Note that this is the zip allowance of my shirts right here at the back. So I'll place it both at the shoulders together like this, such that the necklines are joined together. So this is what that is going to look like. So this is the neckline of my back, and this is the neckline of my front. These are my two armholes. Then you can secure this with a tape, and that's all for that. So you place another but before we do that, let's first draw in our eton collar. So now for the collar, at your neckline here, at the middle part here, that is your center front here, you draw a line. So you decide how long you want your eton collar to be. So let's just say maybe 4 inches. So I'm going to draw a 4 inches line here, and that is what I'm going to have here. Then at the shoulder line here, you decide how wide you want it to be at the shoulder. So I want it to be like maybe 2 inches. Then the same length I have here, I'm going to do the same thing here, because I don't want it long here. So if I wanted it long, this how long this part is here at the front, if I wanted it to be the same at the back, I'll draw in the same line here. But because I don't want that, I want it to be the same size with what I'm going to have at the shoulders here, I'm going to draw in my 2 inches also here. And this is the collar. So all I have to do now is to place another piece of paper underneath this, and then I'm going to trace this out. So I'll trace this out, and that will be all for making the collar. So I'm just going to trace all of my pattern pieces out now, and then I'll show you what all my pattern pieces look like before cutting it out on my fabric. And these are my traced out pattern pieces. This is my front upper part, like I showed you earlier. This is my back upper part. This is my pocket piece. So I already added in my allowance here. All I have to do now is to cut off this upper part, just to cut a separate color of fabric for the upper part and a separate color of fabric for the lower part. So I'll be adding an allowance somewhere around here that I will use to join the two back together. So, and this is my collar piece. So all I have to do now is to I would draw in slash lines into this, and then I'll cut it out from the outer edge here. I'll cut it out to somewhere like not true. I'll cut it to somewhere around here, cut it somewhere around here, just so that my collar can sit very well on my shoulder. So you will not be cutting from your neckline here, you'll be cutting from the outer edge. Then you slash, and then you spread it out by like maybe 0.5 cm each, and then you place another piece of paper, and then you spread it out. If you watched my previous video where I showed how to draft a bishop collar, we did exactly the same thing. So the exact same we did in that previous video, we'll be doing it again for this one. So you draw in slash lines, place this on another piece of paper, and then you spread it open by like 0.5 cm. So I'm just going to I'll be doing this on my fabric. And then this is my traced out front piece. You can see that I added half-inch allowance up here, and then this is my side, and all of that. So for the back piece, this is what the back piece will look like. This is my half-inch also here. All I need to do exactly is just to add a zip allowance right here. So that is you add your zip allowance here, and then you cut out your back piece. And the only thing that is not here is my button stand, which I can do straight on my fabric. All I have to do is to measure. So I'm going to measure what I have here, and then I'll measure the length, and then I'll cut it. So if I have 1 inch here, I know that when I'm cutting on my fabric, I'm going to cut 2 inches. So you get what I'm saying, right? So you cut 2 inches, and then you cut 2 of it, just so that you have what to turn it in with. But when I cut it, I'll show you what I mean by that. Then that's basically all of it. So I'm just going to show you I'm just going to place all of this on my fabric now, and then I'll cut all of it out, and then I'll show you what they all are going to look like on the fabric. Now these are all my cut out pattern and fabric pieces. This is my back piece. That is the lower part of my back piece. This is it here. This is the upper part right here, and this is my front piece cut on fold. You can see that. And this is the upper part of my front piece, and this is my 8-on collar. You can see I already spread this out. This is it. So I cut 4 of this. That is 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So 2 for one side and 2 for the other side. So 2 for one side here, 1 is going to turn in the other side, and then the 2 remaining for this side also, 1 of them is going to turn in the other side. So just like we did for our bishop collar. And this is my little cap sleeve. This is my little cap sleeve. This is my pockets. This is the lower part of my patch pockets, and this is the upper part that I'm going to be attaching. I cut this on fold. So I have 2 pockets, 1 for this side, 1 for the other side. So I cut the upper part of my patch pocket on fold. So then I'll attach to the lower part here. I also cut 2 of this and 2 of this. And this is my button stand that I'm going to be attaching to my dress. So we are going to cut 2 of these also. So 1 of them is going to turn in the other one. But if I cut 2 for this one, by the time I finish sewing and I want to pull it all out from inside out, it will be very difficult for me to do that, because this thing is really small. So yeah, these are all our pattern pieces and all our fabric pieces. Now to sewing all of this, we are going to start first with, and then before we talk about sewing, make sure on the front piece here you notch this part. You know, we extended the front piece. Here's my pattern. So this is my pattern right here. You know, we extended it. This is our actual line, but we extended it here. So this is the extension here. So this line here is what I have up here. So I'm going to notch this point, just so that I'll be able to know when I'm sewing that this is where I'll be placing the this lower part. I'll be placing it on top of this. So this place is going to extend downward. So when I'll show you how to do that now. So yeah, let me just show you the sewing processes like I explained earlier, and then that will be all for this tutorial. Now to start with, we'll be starting with our front piece. Now the first thing you'll be doing is to first sew in your darts. This is I already marked in my darts on this, so this is my dart. So you sew in your darts. Once you are done with that, you iron flat, then you turn it to the right side here. Then you pick your pocket piece. This is my pocket piece. You attach this to your pocket piece here. You attach it here. Make sure you first sew this side together. You sew this side and then you sew this side, then you turn it inside out, and then you place it right here. But for this one also, you fold this part in and iron flat, like really neatly. Then you fold also this part in and iron flat really neatly. Then once you are done, you place both like this. You get the drift right, and then you sew down just like you would attach a band. So that's how you would place this. So let me just attach this with a pin. So once you are done, you pick up your pattern here and measure. You measure on your pattern the location of your pocket from the center. So from the center here, my pocket is located at like let's say 3/4 inch away from the center. So you mark that out, and then from the hem, it's located like here. It's located also, let's say 3/4 inch away from the hem also. So you place it on your dress accordingly. This is the center of my dress. So this is the center of my dress. And then you top stitch like this round. You leave this part open. You leave this part. So you top stitch like this. Like, remember we already folded this part in an iron flat. So you'll be top stitching on top of that like this, and then you do the same also for the other side. You place it right here. Then you pick up your upper part here, and then you sew in your dart. I already notched my dart places here. So you sew in your dart, you sew in the dart also here. Then you place this like this. That part we notched earlier on this part, that is where we would be placing our shirt. So you can see, so you make sure this touches your armhole level here. So you measure down, you measure half inch. The half inch we added to our allowance before this. So this half inch here. So you measure that down, half inch, half inch, half inch, half inch, half inch, and then you sew along that line like this. So this part is going to be open just a bit, just like the dress, and that's that. Then after you are done with that, you pick up your button stand. And then you have to cut two of these, so you must have used the second one to turn this one inside out. Then you place at the center. You locate what you check for. Okay, where is the center of this your button stand? You can notch that. Then you place it at the center of your neckline right here, just so that it all comes out like really straight. And then you sew down. I might have to cut another one of this because it's not long enough, just so that it can get to the hem here. So yeah, I hope you understand how we got here. Then this is my second pocket piece, just in case. And basically this is all for the front piece. Then you pick your back piece, and then you do the exact same thing. You measure half inch, half inch, half inch, half inch, half inch. So whatever on that half inch is where we'll be sewing. So you place this on this, and then you sew the shoulders. So the next thing will be to fix in your collar. So for the collar, the first thing you do is to pick up two of this. You pick up two of this and then you sew around like this. You leave the neckline open, then you turn it inside out, and then you go to iron it flat. Then you do the same also for the other side. You place it. This is our front part. You place your front part at the middle part, at the middle side here, and then you sew all the way around. So when you sew around, you know that this part will be left, like the zip allowance part will be left, because we didn't provide any extension on our collar to accommodate the zip allowance. So this is where it is. You are going to stop sewing your collar, and then you do the same also for the other side. So yeah, this is it. Excuse the fact that it looks all wonky. That's just because I've not sewn this. So at this point, you might want to ask what technique. The technique you'll be using to attach your collar to your neckline will be the technique we use in sewing a band to a skirt. So you can check out my previous tutorial on how to sew a ruffle blouse. In that tutorial I did like a detailed tutorial on how to use that technique to sew a bishop collar. So you can check out that video for a full detailed tutorial on how you can put this collar together on your neckline. So yeah, that's basically all of it. So all you have to do next is to attach your cap sleeve, or if you're using a straight sleeve, you attach your straight sleeve, or if you prefer to leave it as a sleeveless dress, it's all on you. So you do whatever it is you want to do, and then you attach it at the sides. That is, you join the sides together. You're not attaching anything. You join the front and back together at the side. So, and that's basically all you have to do to this dress. And obviously, you know, when you're making yours, you have to cut the lining and all of that for some parts of your dress, and or facing if you feel like you need a facing. So yeah, I'm just going to put all of this together, then I'll show you what my final dress looks like. And that's the end of today's tutorial, guys. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, like this video, and turn on the notifications bell right beside the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos.